Hello and welcome to the demonstration of our domain model evolution analyzer. In this video, we will show you the dashboard for visualizing the aggregated differences between versions of a domain model across its development history. The project we are looking at is the Management Cockpit for Controlling, short MaCoCo, a model-driven, web-based enterprise information system developed by the Chair of Software Engineering at RWTH-Aachen University. To start the analysis, you have to provide the URL to the public remote or local Git repository of your project, as well as an input filter for your domain model. The analysis may take several hours to complete. Once it is finished, a corresponding dashboard is produced. At the top of the dashboard, you can see the total number of model versions. Right next to it, you can select the interval of interest that determines aggregated model data for the graphs. We will come back to this later. For now, let us look at the graphs. The first graph is a line chart showing the number of model elements, i.e. types, associations, and attributes, in the domain model over time. Right next to it, we have a bar chart focusing on the number of types and associations, specifically distinguishing between classes and enums. You can hover over the specific data points to get the precise number of elements. Next up are several charts that compile the number of model changes per quarter. First, we have the number of added and deleted lines on the left. Next to it is the number of added, deleted, and modified types. And finally, added, deleted, and modified associations. The pie chart on the right shows the proportion of model changes that constitute a refinement under an open-world assumption of class diagram semantics. In other words, these model changes produce an extension of the model that does not add to the set of permitted object structures. Below, we find multiple network graphs. These show the structure of our domain model. Types are visualized as squares and associations as triangles. The first graph colors the elements according to the number of times that the model element was modified over the course of the development. The size of squares is also dependent on the number of members in the corresponding type. The coloring goes from blue, comparatively low amount of changes, to red, comparatively high amount of changes. The next graph is the same, except we are now coloring the nodes according to the time since the last change, with red being comparatively recent and blue being further back in the past. As you can see, it's been quite a while since the last change. We move further to the right and see a graph that shows the age of individual model elements, with the newest elements in black and the oldest in light gray. We can also switch to a different view, which gives us a heat map that shows the number of changes to each type and its association per quarter. Again, you can hover over the entry to view the precise number of changes. The letters A and D indicate that the type was added or deleted in that quarter. Now let us go back to the previous view and modify the interval of interest. As you can see, the graphs change accordingly. Thank you very much for your attention, and goodbye.